Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk to you about some fast food alternatives and some restaurant guidelines. So, I know ideally we want to be cooking our own food. We want to be eating at home because you can control what goes into your food, you know exactly where it comes from. But I also know that there are times when last minute things happen that even if you try to plan ahead for, there are going to be the odd time where you just have to go outside the home to eat. We know that, right? We know this. So, what are some things that you can do when you're out and about? What are some places you can go to? Well, these are my options for myself and my family. This is usually what I would choose. Doesn't mean it has to be what you would choose, but I'm going to give you some ideas and sort of explain why or why I don't go somewhere else. So some options. One of my favorites is Qdoba or some Mexican places where you can have something like a naked burrito where you don't have to have any kind of tortilla, but you can have, the beans and some sort of protein, whether it's chicken or steak or whatever. And then, lettuce, fresh cilantro, lots of pico de gallo, even a little bit of guacamole if you want. So you can keep it, real healthy. I usually don't even have rice much anymore, but you certainly could do that if you choose. So it gives you some options. Now, there are other places like Chipotle and some other great places I know that are awesome choices for that as well. Now, if we have to go to some place like a burger joint, that is like one of my least favorite places to go. But if I absolutely have to stop, one of the places that are readily available is a place like Wendy's where you can have something like a small chili. You could do a baked potato and just have some of the chives on it. Sometimes I'll even have like split a baked potato with my husband, have half of one, and then I'll put my chili on it. And that can serve pretty well. The salads are decent, but I just don't really like the salad dressings. So I usually, if I know we're going to be out and about, I'll bring my own. But again, if it's something where it's last minute, I won't always have that on me. Sometimes I'll just squirt lemon over the top if they don't have a dressing. And I don't agree with the low-fat dressings, low-cal dressings, and I don't really like the regular dressings simply because they use highly inflammatory oils, those industrial seed oils, vegetable oils. I put on quote unquote vegetable oils. They use those things, and then if they're low fat, then you've got things taken out and chemicals and artificial sweeteners and all that kind of garbage put back in. So I really don't like dressings either way, unless I make them myself with olive oil and lemon juice and organic apple cider vinegar and stuff like that. So, but those are some options there. If you go somewhere like Bob Evans, very easy to get just a grilled chicken breast and some broccoli, sometimes a sweet potato, things like that you can have that are just one ingredient, things you know what they are, and they're not necessarily concocted into some sort of a recipe. McAllister's is another place we like to go. I really like their white chicken chili, or chicken chili it's called now. You can also get salads there, of course. Again, the dressing is an issue. There's veggie chili as well. Again, if you have to go to somewhere, if you can stick to not having bread and maybe just getting as much fruit or vegetables as possible, that usually is going to keep you out of trouble. One place I do not go is Subway. Now you can have salads there, but again, their meats are full of nitrates, and those are not good for you. And again, their breads are awful, and bread in general, wheat in general, I always recommend you guys read the Wheat Belly because it does explain a lot of why you hear me talk about why wheat's not good for you, and it's not just for weight gain. It has a lot more to do with your health and so many aspects of your health, how wheat is detrimental to it. And I don't care if people tell you it's whole grain, whole wheat is still bad for you, all right? So, I kind of stay away from Subway. It's not one of my favorite places to go. I mean, will I never go there? No, I've gone there before because that's where my family wanted to go, but that's not one of my first choices. I can guarantee you that. Guidelines in restaurants, obviously same idea. You want to keep with the lean protein. You want to get as many steamed vegetables as you can. Or raw fruit, cut up apples, things like that really go a long way. If you want to flavor, things like salsa, vinegars, spicy mustard, that kind of thing. If you do want some kind of whole grains, go with the quinoa or brown rice if it's available to you. Sweet potatoes, try using plain as opposed to, you know, all kinds of butter. And the other thing is, I'm not against butter, but in restaurants, it rarely is real butter, and it certainly isn't grass-fed. So you're getting usually some type of margarine, which again is a very big no-no in my book. Try to avoid bread, and I say that bread is actually an upsell for restaurants because it actually causes you to lose your inhibitions and want to eat more. So usually people who have bread tend to be people who might get a drink, who might go for dessert, maybe just might eat a little bit more than you anticipated. So, and not to mention the negative effects of it as well. So again, try to avoid dessert unless it's some sort of fruit. Drink water with your meal, or unsweetened tea, or, you know, undoctored coffee. And again, water would be my first choice, maybe with some lemon, as opposed to drinking any kind of pop, whether it's diet or regular, because both have their negative health effects. Try to say no to appetizers and just stick to your meal, and of course no seconds. So those are just some little guidelines to help. Some are very instinctive, some you've heard before, maybe all you've heard before, but I thought it would be a good thing to share with you guys today. So make it a great day, you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.